Well, the Trump administration says it remains committed to diplomacy and the use of economic sanctions, despite this past weekend's military strikes in Iraq and Syria. One America's Emerald Robinson has more from the White House.
The administration is providing a bit more insight into the decision to conduct precision defense strikes in both Iraq and Syria over the weekend. Shortly after the strikes, the Pentagon released a statement saying that the U.S. had struck 3 locations in Iraq and 2 in Syria in response to a string of attacks from the Iranian-backed militia group called Kataib Hezbollah on Iraqi bases. There have been 11 attacks in just 2 months. A Friday rocket launch resulted in the death of a U.S. contractor. And while the president has been a bit more restrained in his response to Iranian aggression, both he and his team felt that this was the time to respond with military action. While it's the big message they want to send to Iran that it doesn't get a pass for its proxies. In fact, a senior administration official saying that the strikes serve as a reminder to the regime that the U.S. will respond to attacks on its troops and allies, whether conducted directly by the Iranian regime, but also by its proxies. In the decision to strike locations in Syria, an official says that it's a reminder that the U.S. has insisted that all Iranian commanded forces must leave that country. Now, the U.S. has been employing an aggressive campaign of soft power measures that largely entails sanctions to cut off Iran's funding for malign activity. But a senior State Department official saying that while President Trump has shown a great deal of restraint and patience over a period of some months, no one should confuse this restraint with weakness. The weekend strikes backing up the U.S. sanctions with some hard power. But that doesn't mean sanctions are necessarily out of the picture or exhausted, according to State Department officials who suggest that you shouldn't read too much into the decision to use military force over the weekend, saying that it's not an indicator that the president or the U.S. is now committed to sole military action. The president and his administration plan to continue to choke off Iran's resources in an even more compounded way in 2020, according to one official. The administration says that the post-Iran nuclear deal strategy is to restore deterrence against Iran in the region and to also continue to cut off its resources that it can provide funding to proxies such as the group in Iraq responsible for the recent rocket attacks. At the White House, Emerald Robinson, One America News.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.